of the Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Damian Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
All right, we're back. Another episode, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 24. Damn, we're getting up to so many now. It's hard to remember how many we actually did, but yeah, 24. Damn,
almost a quarter.
Yeah, that's what's that, 6 months?
Yeah, not bad.
Damn, 6-month anniversary show.
Yeah, we're gonna do something special.
or 5 month, whatever.
We're all gonna play W.A.P. and dance in our thongs.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll get to that.
That's what we're talking about today. It's going to be like a smorgasbord, bunch of different things to choose from. So we're going to do the Grammys we're talking about. We're going to talk a little bit about the Rob Zombie record, and then we have our each individual picks a week. So got some variety this week.
Yeah, I guess a little off the cuff, and we'll see what happens. Damo, what do you like to start talking about first?
We can do the Grammys. Start out with the bullshit first.
Yeah, I guess you could go first.
I don't know, man. I turn it on. I try to turn it on a little bit every year it's on. I just get aggravated. I mean, I remember years ago I used to really look forward to watching it. The AMAs, the MTV Awards, the Grammys, like the three of them I always used to watch, and they always gave you like a good bit of variety. Like even if like I remember the Grammys or whatever, they would have like everything. They would have jazz guys up there. It was pop, country, rock, rap, a little bit of everything, a little metal they throw in. But man, lately it just seems like it's just one. It's a pop fest. It's like all the pop stars, and hip hop is pop music, so it's like all that. And there's like absolutely no rock. There's no metal. There's nothing of anything else. They air all that shit like during the day, and it's just nothing but like it's just total garbage now.
It's a dance-a-thon.
It's dancing. It's like watching like an aerobics show. It's the songs aren't even like well written songs. It's like shit. Like I never liked REM, but I respected them. They would be on the shows, and they would they would play like "Losing My Religion" or something. I was like, okay, you know what? I appreciate it. It's a good song. It's a well written song.
The songs were easy. They were easier to digest. Them songs. These new songs, it all sounds the same. Like I said, I could say, are we getting old? I don't know, but it all sounds the same. Every that one of those rap songs got this downbeat, and it's just like it's cool the first time you hear it, but after that, it's like it all sounds like this mumble jumble stuff, and I don't get it.
Yeah. This is what happens when you take music out of the school curriculum.
Yeah, right. Well, you know what? Yeah, I mean, you have a point, because they would teach you like appreciation, like of other music genres. Like they used to teach about jazz, and I didn't give a shit, but I knew who Dizzy Gillespie was or whoever, and they would honor these guys on these shows. I thought it was kind of neat. It was like educationally. Like you come back, you would learn something. Like I remember one year when I was a kid, they like the Oak Ridge Boys were always on. It's like I don't know. They're a bunch of old white dudes with like long white hair and stuff, like playing country music.
They look old. They're probably our age now.
Probably. Yeah.
Like I remember like watching like back in the day, like especially like the early '80s with my grandparents, my mother and me, and it was like 3 generations sitting there, and each of us can actually sit there and enjoy something out of it.
Right.
And now it's like it's almost it's targeted towards a specific age group.
Yeah.
And I actually read an article the other day, and I don't know what the truth to this is, but they were saying the director of the Academy of the Grammys, was aiming at nobody above the baby boomer or no below the baby boomer or something that. So they wanted to stick I think he even stuck the millennials out of it. So they kind of just wanted
whatever
to keep the millennials forward, right? Yeah. So that's what it was. They were, and the article was actually, well, how the hell did Ringo Starr and and Lionel Richie get there?
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of stupid. Like as far as like in a business sense, like don't you want to appeal to like everybody and
Right?
not just. Well, you know what? I saw the ratings. I saw a thing came up. 51% down from last year, and last year was like way down from the year before. It's like nobody's watching. It's like I think it reached like 1.7 million people or something.
Let me give you my opinion on that, if you don't care. See, we watched it with our parents. Okay, they put it on, and now back in the day, we had pretty much one TV. You watch what was on in the living room, or you went and played with your toys or whatever. So we were kind of forced to watch it, forced to appreciate it, and everything like that. Now the parents aren't watching it because it doesn't appeal to them. So it isn't even reaching the kids.
Right. Yeah.
So, and on the other end of it too, they got their phones and their video games, and they don't even give a shit anymore.
Yeah.
So they're actually putting this out for a generation that doesn't even give a shit about watching it.
Yeah. It's like there's like music in general is sort of like people aren't like really passionate about it like we were. Like, you know, the next day in school, you're talking about like all these different people who won. Now it's just like, just like something, you know, it's just like a thing, you know, it's not like a part of somebody's life. It's just like sort of like in the background. The song is in the background.
Yeah.
Like,
it's
like, you know, and the one thing like with all this like non-rock is like that is, and that's because, you know, that's like what we do. That's like, you know, our typical genre that we like, but it's like rock is like the most dedicated fan base out of all the music genres.
Oh, yeah.
And
absolutely.
And man, you like you don't give, you know, the rock fans any of that. They're not going to watch. Everybody's going to tune off. I mean, we all watch a few minutes of it just to see what's going on. And it's, you know, it's just a joke. And when they do nominate bands, it's like I just envision like these guys like in like a boardroom, and you see like, oh, okay, metal, you know, let's just pick, oh, this sounds like a metal band. Oh, this band put out an album. It's a live record. We're going to nominate that. They're just like throwing darts and like,
they have no clue.
No.
They have no clue. And it's like, I mean, even in the 80s, they barely threw metal a bone. There was a little bit, but they barely threw any. When Metallica was on was the Grammys that one year that they did one, I couldn't believe it. Was so excited. We're like, wow, they're actually putting on something. You know, I mean, you got Guns N' Roses here and there, you got Motley Crue here and there, but not much. You know, it was few and far between.
Yeah,
you know, and now it's really bad.
There wasn't even that much hip hop on it back then. You know, that was so.
No, it was a lot of pop, classical. They showed a lot of classical. They showed
a lot of old like R&B acts and stuff that still put out music and stuff like Billy Joel's and stuff like that.
Yeah, so, it was just better variety, I thought, you know.
It was. I mean, like, so I want to start off with the host was annoying. Totally annoying.
Oh, that
Noah, Trevor Noah.
Trevor Noah, yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
He was the reason why I stopped watching the Tonight Show with Jon Stewart. Once Stewart left, I couldn't get into him. I mean, he just seems fake to me. I don't know. I don't even like the shit that he says. So it's like that first all just took me out of it. So
yeah, I thought it was kind of lame. You know,
he was fake.
It was kind of weird too. Like just like the whole setup of it was outdoors,
strange.
Okay. And, you know, tables, I guess the whole social distance thing, but it just seemed like really weird to watch.
It was boring.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, no excitement. It was totally boring.
Every song was a down song. I mean, every song. I'll tell you what, the best performance of the night was probably, and I don't know nothing about this stuff, was probably Harry Styles. That was the closest to a real pop song.
What about the Bruno Mars? That was
okay. Wait, yeah, okay,
really good.
Okay, there was two that were really, really good. So I'm going to say the Harry Styles was okay. The two that was really good was the Silk Sonic with Bruno Mars and the other dude. That was real good, but that looked like a throwback to the 70s.
Throwback.
It was good. It was something that our parents would listen to. It was
that
good.
The tribute to the Little Richard thing they did?
No, they did
something else.
I guess they did their own song called
they did their own
Sonic.
Okay.
And then Post Malone was pretty damn good.
Yeah, he was real. I kind of dig him for some
He's good.
reason.
He's good.
He doesn't really bug me, you know.
He's going to be another Kid Rock. He's going to break out to the rock stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's going to happen.
Yeah.
He seems like a pretty decent guy too. You know, he actually seems grateful, you know,
yeah,
of the music industry, like being there.
Yeah, and he also has like this like this thing like, hey man, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't know here, you know.
Yeah.
But that's good because you get something different and not the same old shit all the time.
Yeah.
You know, this guy's putting out what he thinks is right. You might like it or you might not, but you know, what he's doing so far is pretty good.
Yeah, I have respect for him, and he can actually play. He could play, he could sing a bit. And I think he just made his bread and butter doing the other stuff. He might have stumbled on it. Who knows?
Right.
No, he admitted to the auto tunes.
He did. I heard about that.
Yeah.
Everybody does the auto tune.
Yeah, which you know what? Nobody does. And
what admit to?
I mean, it's obvious that they do it, and they do say that they do it, but the reason why they do it is because they can't sing, and he's the one.
Right.
He actually comes out and says that. So
yeah, I mean, just think about it. Like you come out with all these good lyrics and songs and like that, but you can't put it out there because you suck at singing, and you'll never be good. You know, there's just some things you'll just never be good at.
Yeah.
You know, if you suck at singing, you're always going to suck at singing.
Yeah.
But with that, you can kind of help it out a little bit. I kind of look at that different now a little bit. He admits to it, so.
You know, it's funny. Back in 2001, 2002, I played in a band. I'm not going to mention what band or whatever, but I played in a band, and the guitar player, he bought this auto-tune thing for the singer because the singer had major pitch problems. And that was auto-tune had just come out. It was like 2001. It was like 20 years ago, and it was like real taboo, man. Like, you know, it was like made for singers who can't sing. So the guitar player would, every time he would record the singer, he wouldn't tell him. He was just he just told him it was effect. So every time he would sing out of key, when he would leave, he would spend all his time pushing his vocals like in key, and the singer would be so impressed. It's like, man, I thanks, man, that effect is awesome, you know. and me and the guitar player were like, dude, you have no idea. Like,
I mean,
it's like, dude, you sound like alfalfa.
But even using auto tune and all that stuff, and you know, played around with recording shit. I'll use it if I have to use it if I can't hit something high, but it's not perfect. It's far from perfect unless you spend the money to get the real deal, which we don't. You know, it's not perfect. It could sound really, really bad if it's not done right.
Right.
Me personally, I always use like an octave up. I prefer it. It just fattens out the sound a little bit, but it's not like an auto tune thing. It just gives me a little higher on my voice, but it still has my voice on the bottom. But if you don't know how to use auto tune right, it could be a fucking nightmare. It don't sound good.
These guys, it sounds like a robot singing or something.
Well, or you can hear the notes bouncing. You know.
Yeah.
So if you don't hit dead on, you know, like somebody like me, when I sing, I have like a natural vibrato that I wish I could get rid of, because doing harmonies and stuff, when I double myself, it sounds crazy because I'm bouncing up. I'm not perfectly matching it. Right. So, so auto tune don't really work for everybody unless, you know, we're not using it right.
Sing. I like it because you sing in the same voice you speak in.
Sort of, yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty cool though. Like, you know, it's you like, if I just heard the band, I know it's you. I just know your voice, you know.
Yeah.
There's a lot of like artists like that.
Yeah, absolutely. But like the Billie Eilish song, I know the girl's talented. I know her brother's extremely talented, I don't get the whole "woe is me, I'm down." And
that song went nowhere.
I just think she sucks, man. Her voice is like, she's got this real, like, kind of talking, you know, kind of mellow voice. Like, she sings like that. It's boring.
Yeah.
The first album I thought was kind of cool from her. I didn't listen to the second one, but from what I did hear off of it, it's just kind of, I don't know. I
mean, she's got talent. There's definitely talent there. Her brother's a real talent.
Yeah, I think that's the genius right there. Is that kid.
He's a genius, probably. Yeah, man. And even like that dance chick, I can't even say her name. Begins with
Dua
an M.
Lipa or something?
That's it. Dua Lipa, something like that. That was perfect for what she was going for. It had that late 70s kind of dance thing, but it was really all danced out. The whole thing was a love fest for, I don't even know, a rap and dance. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I try to let that stuff into my world so I don't get.
Yeah, I mean, look, I respect all the music. I respect what anybody does, anybody's art that they put up there. But throw us a bone, man. Throw us.
Yeah,
something.
you can't you can't start excluding stuff, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. Like, we talk about them a bit. Like the Foo Fighters weren't on. They're on.
Guess what? I would have been okay. Give me one.
Yeah, and that's who. They probably weren't available, so it's like okay.
Yeah.
Even Slash, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, John Mayer was there, but
the thing with the in memoriam thing, right? So I was, I was like, okay, a lot of people died last year. I kind of forgot about Little Richard. And I saw him first, and that was a great tribute, and
yeah, it was good,
absolutely well deserved. I mean,
it was good, yeah.
And then the second thing is like they show like a 17-second clip of Eddie, like a real shitty YouTube clip of Van Halen doing like a part of Eruption that isn't even like a memorable part. Right. And then they show his guitar there. It's like, really, you could not put. Oh, and then followed by Kenny Rogers and. Who else?
Lionel Richie.
Prine, like I don't even know who the fuck John Prine is. Like, so you do them, but you don't do anything for Eddie Van Halen. Like he was like the second, like there was like Jimi Hendrix and then Van Halen. Like they revolutionized like the instrument.
Absolutely. Now I did hear that Wolfie put out there that they asked him to play Eruption, and he said, "No, right. It's my dad's thing."
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to do anything.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Want to play Van Halen song? He's not.
No.
But they should have. So that's not an excuse for him to not do anything. They should have
they should have had some guitar player there or something.
Right.
John Mayer. They could have had
John
him.
Mayer.
They could have had,
They could have had David Lee Roth doing a song or something like that.
Anybody. Really. I mean, something like Respectful. It's like, dude, it's like really fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, he was a game changer, Eddie Van Halen.
Definitely.
Yeah, you can't just like ignore him, man. It's just.
I mean, they gave him 15 seconds or whatever it was. It was just like.
At first I thought it was cool, and then I looked back at it, and after reading a couple of things, and you're just like, yeah, it's kind of shitty.
Yeah. They should have did something. Show a video, show a minute video clip or something of the band or something.
Yeah, they could have had somebody play a minute and a half little medley of like Jump and Panama or something. It could have been anything.
Something. I would have got Nuno. I would have asked Nuno to do it. It would have been perfect.
Oh yeah, I mean, a lot of guys would have been perfect, but you think on the Grammys, like, would anybody really know? Like, you know what the demographic is? Would they know who he is? That's why I figured,
right?
Like, John Mayer, he's always on. Like, he's everybody. Yeah. People who don't know like the stuff that we do, like they know him. They know. I don't even know who else. I mean, who else is a guitar player that they could get? I mean, Slash would be really the only guy.
But he really don't play that way, yeah.
Yeah, it's not his
style.
If he would, but
he's like a dirty blues kind of.
Yeah, it's not really his.
It's not really
his thing, But
it was weird.
To play guitar, so like I said, they could do like a couple choruses of like 2 or 3 songs, and that's it. It could have been like a 2-minute thing.
Yeah,
something.
Yeah, but they didn't represent rock at all. And then you had the cancel culture, and then they show the Cardi B song.
Look, I'm not complaining about the song.
I don't care about the song.
No. It doesn't offend me. I mean,
no,
listen to Wasp, Fuck Like a Beast. I think that's way more offensive.
Well, wait a minute though. Wait a minute.
But that wasn't on the Grammys or anything.
No, that wasn't on the Grammys. But also, I mean, they weren't a band that was like really heavily promoted. It wasn't like you're going to turn on the TV and see a Wasp video. Right. So, I mean, there's many bands that we listened to that had perverse songs on there. Maybe it was a bonus track on the end of the album. But look, this was released. This was released by a studio. This went through many of fucking people to get released. And and it's kind of like, I mean, look, I'll even say like 9 Inch Nails Closer was even kind of tacky to be released back in the day. So, I mean, it's, whether it's a hit song or not, you could have done something else with the words or did a different song, whatever, or just not even release that song at all and it's on your album. it's going to find who it belongs to. It's going to find the demographics,
Right.
but it's not in your face. It's not pushing it in the kids' faces who probably wouldn't listen to it or sing it in the first place. You know, to me, it's a tacky song to put out.
To me, the song don't bother me at all because you're an artist. You should be able to say what you want to say.
Exactly.
But the flip side is, don't bitch about one thing and then sing about another, or sing about the same thing that, contradicts itself. That's the problem. A lot of contradiction there.
You got to remember too, there's like young kids listening to this stuff,
Yeah.
That's who it's marketed towards.
What's funny is that all these shows have ratings now. The Grammys were rated as a G rating. Are you kidding me?
And then, Body Count's all right, but Body Count wins Metal Performance of the Year. There was nobody else out there.
That doesn't make any sense at all.
I mean, In This Moment was in the category. I like In This Moment a lot. The last record is not my favorite from them, but maybe throw them a bone. They're going to be around for a while. They're still, they got a couple records out, but they're still, up and coming kind of deal. Or
have you listened to the Body Count?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
Okay. No, I haven't listened to it yet.
It's
So I just.
right.
Yeah, I mean, Body Count's Body Count. Are they a Grammy award-winning metal band?
Yes, they are.
I don't think so. Well, now they are.
Now.
Yeah, now they are.
But I mean, nothing else came out last year. Didn't the AC/DC make the cut?
I think there's like a cutoff time. I think.
I mean,
I think it's got to come out before. AC/DC came out in like October or November maybe. That
somebody needed before that.
Well, I think
Maybe
that I Can't Breathe song was out for 6 months, so I know it's at least 6 months.
Yeah, I think the cutoff time is like October or something. Like anything after October is like.
That's what it probably is. Now I'll tell you who I think is really good, and I don't know much about her, but the girl that calls herself Her, she's got talent.
Oh yeah, I
that
agree.
Girl's got talent.
Yeah.
She's definitely got some talent. I don't know much, but hearing her play, she actually can play guitar, and she's got some talent.
Yeah,
she's got some talent. It was the usual suspects: Beyonce getting awards, Taylor Swift, Billie Eilish. It's
the same shit every year.
Yeah,
they were saying like she was like one of the senior members of the Grammys. Beyonce at like 39 years old, like she was one of the oldest people there.
Wow.
Yeah, what's that tell you?
Yeah,
right?
It's just. I mean, we're just saying, hey, throw a rock band a bone, put them on TV, give them some exposure. Even like I'm not a big Stokes guy, but I could see why that album won the rock album. I could see they're a big band. They sell a lot of records. They're popular.
Yeah.
So maybe throw them on, have them on. Maybe have them do the Van Halen song.
I can imagine that.
Something.
Yeah.
But. Yeah, for me, all these award show, and I watch them, or I watch pieces of them.
Nah.
And they're always
I try not to.
They're always bad. They're just...
It really angers me. So I kind of stay away, and I was angry after 3.5 hours of watching
we watched the whole thing. It was pretty
You really did? I think I watched maybe 45 minutes of it, I think.
You tapped out after 45.
I feel guilty that I gave them ratings.
Yeah.
Ratings. Do the ratings even count anymore? Everybody watches stuff on their own time now.
Right.
I don't even believe all that.
That was one of the Grammys' defenses too. Was what they were saying was, does ratings really matter anymore? Because people watch stuff on their own time. So
they do because advertisers aren't going to put their commercial on a show if nobody's watching it. So
you might as well just throw your advertisements on YouTube.
Yeah.
At that point,
I mean, look, it is what it is. I just thought it just gets worse and worse. Like, how much worse can it get? Like, you thought the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was bad. They have somewhat of a clue. The Grammys, like, they have absolutely no clue at all.
No clue. And
which sucks because this is eventually going to affect the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame by them having no clue.
In 20 years or so, you're going to see, hey, well, who came out in 2020? It's going to be
this shit rolls downhill, man.
Yeah, right.
Dame, I didn't hear it, but I heard it was great. Did you hear the Eddie Trunk rant?
Yeah, I listen to a show every day. It was spot on, 1000% spot on. You could probably check it out on YouTube. But dude, he
went off,
fired
right?
a lot of people up, and you know what? The guy he has some pull in the industry for hard rock metal. I mean, that's the guy people listen to. So
I'm kind of upset they canceled the show on TV. I keep forgetting to watch them on YouTube.
Yeah,
I think they're going to try and get that back.
They've been trying to. At this point, I think he's kind of like, but I listen to his show every day on Sirius. Every
he's good. When I catch it, he's good. I'll watch it on YouTube.
Really good. It's really he's really knowledgeable. You want to learn a lot. He's got really good interviews and stuff. But yeah, he had a pretty classic rant the other day.
I heard it was good, man. I got to check it out. Now, to segue into something that we didn't even talking about, so I'm just going to throw it out there. I just seen they have that new app called Gimme, Gimme Metal, and I heard Ricky Rackman is doing like a Headbangers Ball type show on there, which I didn't look into yet, but that looks like it could be cool.
Yeah, I heard about it yesterday, and
me too.
I downloaded the app today. I didn't do anything with it yet. I didn't even register, but I don't know. See what it's all about.
It's got to be cool, right? That's what I'm looking at. How big could it be? It's got to be good. So I seen that. I was like, wow, that's pretty cool. Finally, something. Yeah,
he's been trying to bring it back somehow. I guess MTV probably uses the name Headbangers Ball. So
what's it called? The Ball or something like that?
Ball. Yeah,
Ball. That's good. Yeah, that's good.
It seems like from what I've heard from a little part of his press conference or whatever he was doing, Facebook Live or whatever. It sounds more like it's going to be geared for heavier bands. Or I don't know if it's going to be like a wide variety of.
I hope it's a variety of everything. I hope they give you everything.
Yeah, I hope so.
Give me everything. I don't want one job. Give me the whole. Yeah, the whole thing.
Well, that's what I loved about Headbangers Ball. I mean, you would turn it on and I got into really heavy music at one point, like death metal and stuff, and some industrial metal and
they played a good mix of rock music on that.
They played a good mix of everything. Towards the end, in the 90s part, it was pretty.
And they had a lot of up and coming bands come on for interviews, and then you look into them later on.
Yeah,
I mean, it definitely helped break a lot of bands. Yeah. But
that's where I first saw that Faith No More. I think we're getting pushed on Headbangers Ball.
Yeah, they were. Let's move on to Mike D, your pick of the week.
Oh, right. This is a good one if you haven't heard of him. But this is the album LW from King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And
repeat
King
that.
Gizzard. This is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. And their album is called LW. And this is the third volume. And this is called Explorations into Microtonal Tuning, Volume 3. So what they did was, back on their first one, the Flying Microtonal Banana. I keep getting this wrong, by the way. It's a tough one to say. So what they did was they micro-tuned their instruments. They got about $200 a piece and got their instruments fitted with this. Do you know what micro-tuning is, Damien?
No, what is that?
So what they did was it gives you this Middle Eastern sound and it adds different notes into the music, which isn't in our, Western civilization.
Right.
So I'm probably explaining it really wrong. I'm coming from a non-musician point on this one, but it gives this really deep Middle Eastern tone, like Indian, Moroccan, all different types of sounds like that.
And they're singing.
So, they're singing it, absolutely, and this is rock music. Don't get me wrong, but this band has been around since 2010.
Really,
and they now have 17 albums out.
Yeah.
So these guys are pumping albums out like you wouldn't believe.
And they're not just.
What's that?
They got a pretty big following, or
they got a big following, and they're from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia.
Okay.
So they have a decent following in the States. They're touring later this year in October. But this album, I mean, it took me a few listens to actually get into this one, and that's almost like any of their albums. But each of their albums have a different feel to it, a different tone to it. They could go from just being a hippie jam band to being a straight up fucking rip your face off thrash band.
Is it sort of like that band, The Who? Have you heard of them? HU?
Oh, I love it. I love that record.
No, I mean these guys are singing. This is a rock band by all means. This is
It's very jammy. It's very jammy. I think it's very.
It could be. It could be jammy at times.
A little psychedelic-y.
Psychedelic. It's. I mean, but these guys know what they're doing. They're a 7-piece
King
band,
Gizzard and the Electric Wizard,
and the King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Dude, they got 2 drummers.
King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard.
Yes,
King
2
Gizzard
drummers they
and
got,
Lizard.
man. And the sound, like they could just go skipping genres of music, and this band always just you know it's them by their sound. They're just worth checking out.
They're young too.
And-
I think they're young.
Yeah, man. They're like probably under 30 years old.
Yeah.
But this album picks up like kind of like more in that Middle Eastern tone. Even gets into the electronic bits a little bit. But like even the good thing is, even if you stumble across an album you don't like of them, they put out about 3 to 5 albums a year.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
that's crazy.
So it's like if you don't like it, it's like don't worry, a couple months you'll have a new one.
Damn.
And by that time you'll fucking love the one you didn't like.
And they're full
So-
records they put out?
Oh yeah, it's about 9 songs, 45 minutes.
Wow.
Definitely worth checking out, man.
Definitely got to
Their
have
first-
a home studio.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, right.
They do a lot of stuff on the road, from what I was reading too.
Yeah.
It's like during their tours and stuff like that, they'll hit studios or do stuff even in their hotel rooms and stuff. So it's just they just put it out, man. They just pump out music like it's their job.
You have to
I
check
mean,
it out.
this is a band that the rock industry needs.
Yeah, sounds
So-
different.
I mean, I would say you probably start off with the album "Infest the Rat's Nest," and that's just fucking rip your face off metal.
Infest the Rat's Nest.
Yeah, but this one, I mean, this one's part 2 to the first album, and it's called, the first one was KG, and this one's LW for King Gizzard Lizard Wizard. So
I love the name, I'll tell you that.
Name's
the thing is, it's
crazy.
cool too. Is the first one begins okay as the second one ends, and vice versa.
Well, is
On
it
the-
like a concept record? Like it tells a story?
Yes and no. They each have their own like tracks, and you could listen to the songs on their own, or you could just listen to it as a whole and fucking throw your headphones in, sit back, and just chill to it. Like these are some of the more on the lighter stuff, psychedelic, electronic, but I would say it's not a good album to start if you're getting into the band.
It's a little.
But-
It's a little jammy for me.
Yeah.
It's a little jammy for me. I like when they go. I heard a couple of the records when they go Middle Eastern kind of sounding. It's kind of
Mhm.
neat.
It's got a
Um,
really cool sound.
If you're looking for a song, a pop out song, it's not who you're listening.
They have
to.
a few.
It's
They
almost
have a
like when you
few.
listen to Tool. You know, it's the same
You
deal.
just- like
Yeah.
doing shit
Yeah.
around the house,
It's
whatever.
good
you
chill
put it
music,
on.
I think.
Chill, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had. Like, I don't want to say like, oh yeah, they're like a mirror image of Tool, but it's definitely in that realm. It's like you just get that. You'll have that. They do a lot of space rock and just like it's just crazy sound effects on the instruments. Like 2 drummers working together. It's insane.
Yeah, it sounds
So-
interesting. Yeah.
Definitely worth to check out.
So King Gizzard and the
Lizard Wizard.
Yep, new album LW. All right, I'm gonna go next. Now, Dame, you probably know more about this guy than I know about this guy, but I picked up both of his records and they're unbelievable. Hank Von Hell, unbelievable.
Love it too.
It's so
Turbo
good.
Negro singer.
Where was he from? What was the band?
Turbo Negro.
Turbo Negro. I don't know much about them. I might listen to a couple tracks from them, but as far as his solo stuff, I think 2018 he put out one and he just put out another one. First one was Egomania, and the new one's called Dead. I mean, it's got everything. It's pop, it's punk, it's rock. It's got everything mixed into one, and it's all catchy. It's
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
You're
it is
telling me
so
about
good.
it. I was listening to it earlier this week. I listened to it like 2 or 3 times. It is really good.
Oh, you did listen to it? Good, cool.
Yeah, I listened to it like 3 times at work, and
So
I mean
good.
it's in line with Turbo Negro. I mean, I really liked. I was really into them. I think I discovered them. Viva La Bam. Remember that show?
Yeah,
Yes.
That show.
yeah.
They
That's
were
what I was
on the
telling
show
you.
once, and they would always play their music on there. I was like, man, these guys sound pretty cool. It's like dirty rock and roll, Motorhead, like sort of like that kind of vein.
Yeah.
You know, a little more melodic, you know. But
Yeah. His stuff's probably poppier than that, I would say.
yeah.
But it's good, man. It's real good. I mean, that's been in my player for like the last month at least.
That just came out.
The Dead album just came out, but the Egomania album's been out since like 2018.
Yeah,
but they're both. I mean, they fit hand in hand. It's like easy listen to. You know, you get through the record really quick, and I mean, the one song on that, the last song on Egomania, Adios, is unbelievable.
Right.
It's so good. It's big. I mean, and it's funny because how I stumbled over the guy. I was going through YouTube and I seen like this heavyset guy, and I'm like, well, the heavyset metal dude. Let me give him a shot. You know, let's one for the chubby guys. So I played it. It was that Bum the Bum video, and I'm like, wow, this is. I don't know what to think of it. Is he King Diamond? Is it a joke? Is he serious?
Right. Yeah.
But I was like, this is pretty damn good. And then I kind of backtracked. You know, I got sucked in with the gimmick, and then I kind of backtracked and then looked into the stuff and was like, wow, this is actually really good.
Well, they have like this big. It's kind of weird. Like they got like this huge underground following, and about 3 years ago, me and a couple buddies of mine, we went to go see this band, the Helicopters. They're like a Swedish band, and they're sort of like Turbo Negro, kind of like, you know, they're like a Scandinavian band that's like you know, high energy. I just call it like dirty rock and roll, sort of like in the Motorhead rock and roll kind of vein, and. So we're there, and they actually played on like this boat and around New York City. Like you go on the boat, the band plays, and it takes you all around Manhattan. So anyway, there was like, must have been like 50 dudes in like these denim Turbo Negro jackets.
Right.
It almost looked like a gang, like a rock and roll gang or something. But I don't know what the connection is between the Helicopters and Turbo Negro, but you know, that's got to be some indication that they have like a huge fan base. It was kind of weird. Yeah. Like it was definitely like a good 50 people with like these denim vests that said Turbo Negro on the back.
Where did you say they're from?
They're from Turbo Negro is from Sweden maybe, or Finland.
Okay.
Maybe one of those Scandinavian countries.
They're like a big metal. That's like a big metal country too. They listen a lot.
Yeah.
Rock over there.
Yeah, I think
Norwegian. Maybe.
I'm kind of curious. Let me see. Looking them up real quick. They're from Norway. There you go.
That's crazy.
So like the Scandinavian, you know, countries. Yeah. So the and they came around here maybe like 2 years ago. I was going to go see them, but then I heard that they had a new singer.
Right.
I didn't know that he left the band. I was like, yeah. Maybe I'll skip that.
Yeah.
I heard the new guy was pretty good. So.
Yeah, but yeah, if nobody's heard the Hank Von Hell records, definitely check it out. So we're going to move on to a book that Damien is reading now, which sounds pretty interesting. I'm going to have to pick it up myself. Nothing but a good time, Dan. What do you got on that?
Yeah, I got this yesterday, and man, I couldn't put it down. I think I got it. I was off from work yesterday, and it came in the mail like around 4:00, and I didn't stop reading until like 1 a.m.
Oh man!
So I'm
like, is there a lot of good dirt in there, or what?
It's well, at first it's you know, Nothing But a Good Time: The Uncensored History of the '80s Hard Rock Explosion, which
I was thinking it was a book about Poison.
No, it's all about, and like these books always pop out, or every few years somebody does their own take on it, and I'll admit I am kind of like a snob with that genre. I kind of feel like I know everything that there is
right
out there. Like I know the history of all those bands. Like what else could they possibly write about? But Eddie Trunk interviewed these two authors a couple days ago, and they interviewed like over 200 bands and people who like promoters and record label people, producers, and it's really in depth. So I picked it up, and it's not like these guys are like writing the book, like, you know, it's 1977 and this happens. But it's written like, I don't know if you could see like the interview, it's almost like an interview thing, kind of.
Easy read.
But, yeah, it's kind of like how the Dirt, the Motley Crue book, you know, like they'll have like, it starts in like the 70s, like with the rise of Van Halen and Quiet Riot, and Quiet Riot couldn't get signed. It's just really very thorough and in depth. And Motley Crue, how they started, and you know, and interviews all these guys, Nikki Sixx and Alex Van Halen and Michael Anthony. I mean, they interviewed everybody from that scene, anybody you could think of except John Bon Jovi and Axl Rose. Everybody else is in there. Izzy Stradlin, Duff McKagan, you name it. You know, every band has like their rise. And what's cool is that it's not only about like Sunset Strip. It's about the whole genre. Like, you know, everything that came on the East Coast, like Twisted Sister, you know, they're around in the 70s. So it interviews Dee Snider and all those guys. And, you know, interviews Tom Kiefer, and he talks about coming up, you know, Philly, South Jersey scene in the late 70s, early 80s. And it's just really, really, really good. I'm only like maybe a quarter of the way in. I guess I'm like up to like 1985 right now. And it's like, I don't want this book to end.
It stays in order like that? That's pretty cool. Like
Yeah. I mean, it tells every story. Like, it should be like, they should turn into like a documentary, like a 10-part, like.
It's a fun read so far?
Yeah, it's really, really good. Yeah.
Is there a lot of dirt in there?
Oh, there's all kinds of shit. Yeah. I mean,
I might buy
guys, dude, these guys, all those bands, they like Rat and Motley Crue and all that, like they live like a step above homeless people. Poison, like they were living like this. They made a deal with like the Troubadour, the club out there. Like they would play there like one Friday a month, and the Troubadour would pay their rent, which was like a couple $100 a month. They lived in like this warehouse, this rat infested warehouse. And they built like these rooms in the warehouse, and like, you know how it was like instead of they couldn't have bedrooms, so like they used like bed sheets, you know, and stuff. And like, you know, they would hook up with these women and they would buy them, you know, that's how they ate. You know, the women would buy them groceries. And
crazy.
You know, it said like Poison was really good because they would hook up with all the fat chicks, and they really like took care of
skinny
more than anybody. Yeah, it's pretty good, and there's some funny stuff in there.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think I'm gonna pick it up tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah, it's really good. Definitely recommend it.
It's probably available digital, right? Yeah.
Think so.
Well, I see. I was just ready to get into that because I'm like, you know what? I was like, Damien went out. He actually got the book.
See,
it is
old-fashioned.
Yeah, you can get the Kindle version. Yeah, I want to. You know, I'll probably be done this in like by the weekend. I'll be done.
See, that's why I get the digital. I get the digital because when I'm done, when I don't have to store it nowhere, I can just look at it whenever it's on.
Yeah.
Dude, it's a book, man. You gotta get the book, man. It's just the digital. Come on.
I do all my reading in the toilet.
I know. Like, just,
I do.
You could bring a book to the toilet.
I'm telling you,
I can bring the tablet too.
The book is so good that I could actually see myself like reading it in like a year.
I do that a lot with a lot of books, dude. I do.
Yeah.
I tried to, man. I can't. I downloaded so many books on the tab. I just can't read on the tab. It's not the same. It just doesn't feel right.
I'm all right with it.
I need that book in my hand. Need it opened up. It's just do it on the tab. It's just like you're reading like a news article. It doesn't work for me.
I'll admit I do some on my phone. Like I'll read the the book.
It's hard to read on the phone though.
It is, yeah.
But yeah, dude, oh, man, I was on a tirade for a little bit with the books. I was getting all kinds of, I always look for the only stuff I usually read that keeps my interest is biographies or autobiographies.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff is the stuff I usually get, whether it's sports or music.
Yeah.
I'm always like, did you get the Rob Halford book? I didn't get that one yet either.
No. I'm trying to think the last one I read. Oh yeah. I was right in the middle of reading the drummer from the Black Crowes. He wrote a book that's really good. I'm like halfway through that one. I didn't finish that one yet.
Nice. Yeah. I'm a sucker for
handle, I think. I'm not even a big Black Crowes fan, but everybody said that it's one of the best rock books that have come out. And
well, to put you on the spot, out of all the music autobiography books, what's one of your favorites?
Dee Snider's autobiography.
I haven't read that.
It was really good, and because it comes from a different angle. Like he wasn't a boozer, he wasn't into drugs, he was pretty much like a straight-laced family guy, but it shows like his whole rise. Like that band, man, they were struggling and like trying to get a deal like in the 70s, it wasn't like an overnight sensation. But that one, Duff McKagan's books are really good, both of them. Like those two definitely are probably the best that I've read. I mean, a lot of them are good, you know.
The 4 Kiss ones were good. The Paul Stanley one was probably the best, and then the Peter Criss. I think they were the 2 best. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought they both were good. The Ace one kind of was like, same thing.
Yeah.
I was like, The Gene one, I have to read again. I haven't read the Gene one in a long time.
Yeah, that was the first one that came out.
Yeah.
That was a while ago.
But and then I got the second Paul Stanley book, and it's more like a self-help book.
Yeah, I got
it's
that.
Okay. And I got it. I got the audio version of it for some reason. I don't know why I bought the audio version of that. And it's funny because it's not him talking, it's a guy. So he says the expressions, and it's funny to hear somebody else go, so and so, who would you believe? I'm like, what? I'm like, this is ridiculous.
That's funny.
Fucking ridiculous. But all right, let's move on to Rob Zombie's new record. Damo, you want to take the name? It's a long name.
Oh man. Give me a second here.
Make sure you read the whole thing.
I love his titles. It's like
crazy.
It's like a really bad B movie. Everything
great.
he does. But yeah, this is the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy album.
Great. Great. It's so good, man. What's your thoughts on the Zombie album?
It's it's exactly what you would expect. I gotta admit, I kind of dropped off on a lot of ones. I was really into White Zombie years ago. Like
oh yeah,
all that stuff. And then I liked his first solo record. And then honestly, like after that, I only caught like the bits and pieces here and there. And it seemed like he kind of like drifted away from what he was. But this one kind of reminds me of definitely like the less, how do you pronounce it? Last Sex Receipt, the Devil music.
Yeah.
That one meets like the Dragula record. I feel
I can
like
see that. It's a mix.
It's kind of like a good mix. I mean, you got all the weird interlude stuff in between the songs. It's
a little less poppy.
Yeah, it does have a little pop in it at times. There's some elements in a couple songs, but yeah, I mean, it's way better than I thought it would be. But it's what you expect from him. It's exactly what you think. It's like AC/DC or Slayer. Like what you're getting with.
Yeah. You definitely get what you think you're going to get.
Yeah.
Mike, what's your thoughts on the Zombie record?
Yeah, man. I mean, I thought it started out like what do you expect? But I thought it got better the more the album played out. By the end of the album, I thought it was a really good album.
Yeah, I thought it's definitely. Yeah, I thought the same thing. I thought the better stuff is it was towards the end, the back end of it, which is usually that's like where they throw the filler stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Dude,
but it kind of progressed and
just got better. Yeah.
It caught my attention at first, and by the end of it, I was hooked.
I mean, the band sounds incredible on it. I mean, John 5, man. Gee, that lineup, John 5, Piggy D, Ginger Fish, and Rob Zombie. That's a great lineup. I think it's been the same lineup for the last 3 years.
For a while, yeah. Pretty consistent.
Yeah, it's funny because I never really got I'm probably out of the 3 of us, probably the least Manson fan here. And not that I didn't like him, but I just never got into him back when he was out. And with John 5 was with Manson, right?
Yeah. A little bit, yeah. And so was Ginger Fish. Ginger Fish was with him longer than John 5 was.
Yeah, his original drummer. Yeah.
The second drummer. He was the second drummer he brought in.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
I thought he was like the original guy.
He was the second.
But he was like the guy that everybody knew as,
Yeah. I mean, the first guy did the first 2, maybe first record in the EP, maybe something like that. And then he was gone. And then Ginger Fish came in, I think, to do from maybe Mechanical Animals on something like that.
Okay.
But yeah, he was I forget the first guy's name for some reason. I know his real name's Freddie. I know that.
Yeah, that's our drummer, Freddie.
But he had a name because Daisy Berkowitz was out after that too, and he was the guitar player.
Yeah, I know they went through a bunch of guitar players, man.
Yeah, it was crazy. Sarah Lee Lucas. I think that's what the drummer's name was.
His names.
Yeah, that was the drummer's name. And then I don't know what ever happened to that Zim Zum guy. Remember the Zim Zum guy was in?
Yeah, he was there for like
a blink.
He was there for like that one record, and then he was gone.
It was like Mark St. John. It was in and out.
Yeah,
it was quick.
Yeah,
it was quick. Man, even like that one song where he does the fiddle faddle guitar kind of country shit kicking style thing.
I made a note. Yeah,
I like that.
I liked it too.
That might have been my favorite track off the album.
I think I'm right with you. Definitely one of them.
It was called "Shake Your Ass, Smoke Your Grass." I don't know if it was that one.
No. This is 18th Century Cannibals, Excitable Warlocks, a one-way ticket on the Ghost. On the Ghost train. Yeah.
My favorite song was "Boom Boom Boom." Loved it.
I like that one.
That was cool.
It had like a Tarantino kind of vibe to it.
Absolutely.
That one, my favorite one was Get Loose. I really like that.
Get Loose is great.
Yeah, and all those songs are towards the end.
Yeah. I did like Triumph of King Freak, Bout a Sleazy Rider. I like that.
Yeah, I
like that.
Yeah.
What was the Howlin' Wolf Man? I like that. I like the whole thing a lot.
You know, it's funny though. You look at the album and there's like 17 tracks on it, and you listen to it. It's like what, 35 minutes, 40 minutes?
If that's
because most of those tracks are it's all like the weird sound
intro. Yeah.
Well, I just seen an interview with him, and he was talking about that all his favorite records, he said, are quick. He's like, why are they my favorite records? He's like, I listened to them 1,000 times. He's like, because they're over before you know it.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, back in the
crazy.
day, I used to like long albums because you get your money's worth out of it. But now it's like you listen to something that's too long. It's like you don't want to get back into it right away. You listen to something that's like a half hour to 40 minutes.
You listen to
it's
it
like
again.
you're just good. You're going to play it again if it's that good. You know.
Yeah.
Even them two Hank Von Hell records, 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, the old Kiss records, 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Van Halen albums, 25 minutes sometimes.
Yep.
So
as much as I want as many songs as possible, but I don't now. It's like I'd rather have like the old Sabbath style, Zeppelin style, where it's give me like 8 songs. 8 songs.
Eight,
And
nine songs.
I'd rather you give me 8 songs once a year than give me 15 songs every 3 years. You know?
Yeah. I hate the wait, man. I hate the wait these days. Like years ago, bands just used to. That's why King Gizzard. They just put the fucking albums out like boom, boom, boom. But like so many bands, you just have to wait 4, 5, 6 years for.
Yeah.
Like they do that. Tool, it's like what, 10, 13 years sometimes.
Well, it's a different game.
Yeah. Like if you look at it in the 70s, bands were putting out one, like rock bands, 1, maybe 2 a year, and then it was two every 2 years you would get a record, like between the Kiss records. Then it was 4 years, and it just kept. I mean, the only band they had the excuse of doing that was Def Leppard, under circumstances, you know.
Yeah.
Well, they almost had to get another drummer.
Yeah, and guess what? Them guys are loyal. You got to say they're definitely loyal.
For 2-3 records, there was some tragedy. You know, like Rick Allen gets his arm ripped off, then the guitar player dies on the next album cycle, and then all kinds of shit with that.
And you know what? I fell off. I did fall off once they came out with the "Let's Get Rocked." I fell off. Let's get the rock out of here. I was like, oh, this is bad.
I know, I'm out of here. Yeah.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, make love like a man.
Yeah, but everything before that, love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Hysteria. Listen, we heard it 1,000 times, it might be overplayed, whatever. Great, fantastic record, man.
That's a masterpiece.
Pyromania, same thing.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, the first record I thought was okay. Then you had High and Dry. High and Dry was good.
I love High and Dry. Yeah.
Pyromania was great, and Hysteria was a masterpiece.
But yeah, those three in a row right there. I mean,
unbelievable.
We went back and listened to them not too long ago, the Def Leppards, and for years I haven't listened to those albums before that, and I never thought they would be a band that would hold up. That I'm like actually go back and I'm like, you know what, this is pretty damn good.
Oh yeah,
like I could actually go back and listen to them still.
Yeah.
So I mean, like you said, Hysteria, a little tough because I've heard it a billion friggin' times. But Pyromania, it still holds up.
Mm-hmm. Great record. But going back to the zombie thing, this whole album, man. The Rob Zombie. Put it this way: if this album came out after Astro Creep, and in between, I guess, what was the first Rob Zombie? Not Sinister. It was Hellbilly.
Hellbilly Deluxe.
I mean, it fits right in there. It fits right in there. It's the best of White Zombie and the best of Rob Zombie. I think mixing the one. Mm-hmm. And I love that he put in the interlude stuff.
Yeah, was he doing all that, the interlude tracks, like on the later albums recently?
Here and there, I think. I don't think as much. For some, I really noticed it more on this one. And the last couple of records he put out, he didn't put out a bad record. Every record's good, But the last few were pretty good, and this one is great.
Mm-hmm.
and it just came out, I think, last Friday, maybe March 12th.
Yeah, a week ago.
Yeah, and I didn't. Guess what? Even though I got Spotify and all that, I didn't even listen to the record. I just bought it. I bought the MP3 version of it, which I should have just bought the vinyl, because sometimes you on Amazon, if you buy the vinyl, you get the vinyl rip. You know, where you could actually get the MP3 too. You get both. And I usually do that if something big comes out, like I'll buy the vinyl and I'll get the rip, so I can just make my own CD, but still have the vinyl. And I was going to do that for that, but I was being a cheap fucker, and I was just like, I want to get two records. So
what do they charge you for the MP3 version? Like $10?
$10. Yeah, I got that, and I got the Hank Von Hell. I was like, you know what, I got to buy this, and I bought the new Hank Von Hell.
Did you get the vinyl of that?
No, but I might.
Oh, no.
Guess what? If I see the Rob Zombie vinyl,
no, I'm
like
saying
$25, I'll pick it up.
Hank Von Hell. Did you get the vinyl?
I didn't get the vinyl. I got the MP3. But I probably would buy the vinyl. Like sometimes I'll take a shot with the MP3 to see if I like it. Even though I got Spotify, it's still I use the streaming stuff, but sometimes I want to have it just in case I want to listen to
the MP3. How do you listen to it?
For me,
yeah,
I'll hit the Amazon or whatever. I'll buy it. You download the file. I take the file. I put it in my own music collection, and then I just open it up and just listen to it that way. I use something called Music B. That's pretty cool. Where like all your collection can go in there. It's pretty neat. I'll show you next time I see. I'll show you how it works.
I use I just pay for the Spotify Premium.
Yeah, so I do. I do that too. Yeah,
and I listen to all my music that way now. It's just like it's just
easy. It's easy.
Yeah, I mean, when iTunes and iPods came out, I was really like obsessive with that. I put my whole entire record collection. I had like 20,000 songs on there, and I would have it. I would have to upload all the artwork and. Me
too. I still do it. Yep. I still do that.
I haven't touched it. I mean, once in a while I pull it up, but now it's just like just put up Spotify. Everything's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still want it though. Sometimes I still want it. I'll still burn stuff to keep it as a backup. I'll burn it as a backup after I buy it, and then I'll put it in my computer, and then I'll put it on one or two different hard drives just so I got it. So I could go to my laptop, my computer downstairs, it's on everything. I back up all the stuff constantly just in case I lose it. Yeah. And it's just sometimes if I don't want to go on the internet or something like that, and I want to, if I'm stuck, I do the same thing with movies. If I'm stuck, if it's something I bought, I'll rip it and then I'll just put it in, for whenever, so I can listen to it whenever I want. Because unless you're on, on the internet, you can't listen to Spotify and all that stuff. And I do buy the vinyl here and there because the vinyl is just, man, it's got its own sound.
Yeah,
it does. It's got its own sound. You know what record I seen about 2 weeks ago, and I can't believe I didn't buy it. I was being cheap. It was $20, and I didn't buy it. In a used bin, I seen the Vane record, the first Vane record.
Oh, where's this at?
It was Sit and Spin on Passyunk near 24th Street, around there.
Oh, I gotta go there tomorrow.
Yeah, I don't know if they're gonna have that, but they have. Sometimes you get lucky in there.
Really? Why? You think somebody will buy it?
Oh, it's bought. It's sold already. Oh yeah, I was gone. The next time I walked in there, it was gone.
Really? What? How would buy that there?
The owner said that the metal stuff don't stay. As soon as it comes in, I go in there for all the the pop metal stuff.
I've been looking for that for a long time.
I thought you had that. I figured you had that.
No, I don't.
I'll keep an eye out for it. Yeah, Mr. West.
Yeah. That's hard to find on vinyl.
It's a great record. No Respect. That's the one, right? You're looking for No Respect was the one.
Yeah, that was the only one out. I think they're the latest album they put out on vinyl. But No Respect is the one I want on vinyl.
I'm hoping.
I don't know if I remember that band.
Oh man,
I played it for you before. I think you thought it was pretty good. I was surprised you liked it actually.
Like they didn't sound like any of the other bands. They had a whole unique. Nobody sounded like the singer. Like musically they kind of remind me of maybe a dark version of early Kiss a little bit, just like how they played. Like it was just like a little different, than everybody else. It wasn't like happy poppy, party songs or nothing. It was just kind of, they had like a real sleazy kind of vibe to them.
I'm about to check them out again.
Yeah, I would recommend them. They're good, really good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So Rob Zombie, I'm giving it a thumbs up. Damo.
Yeah, you got a thumbs up from me. I liked it.
Mike D.
Absolutely, man. Thumbs up.
We all like the Rob Zombie record. All right, Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 24 in the books. See you guys next week. Bye.